Hello, how are you? My name is Gordon, the nurse philanthropist. If there's anyone, I just want to welcome you to this live. This is the first live I'm doing. I could be having challenges with the technology, but I hope I'll be able to improve in the next YouTube live. So I'm here to answer all the questions regarding life in the US. I will also answer question regarding the agencies recruiting nurses. I'm also going to answer question regarding agencies recruiting nursing assistant. So feel at home and let's keep this live rolling. Thank you. Sorry, I'm trying to see if I can see any question from my laptop. Then I will start the discussion by telling you who I am, where I am from, and which institution I'm working at, and other institution where I've worked at. Thank you. I'm trying to change the settings so that I can be able to see the chat. Then start the live stream officially. Thank you for being patient. Just give me at least 5 minutes so that I can figure out how I can allow chats on this live stream, because I'm not able to see the icon that I can use to allow this chat, because what I'm seeing is that the chat is disabled for this live stream. I just want to find out how I can make it so that I'll be able to see what you guys are typing. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Hello, welcome back again. At least I've been able to correct what was blocking the charts from my side. And I just want to say that my name is Mark Subukwe. I'm a US registered nurse. I've also worked in Kenya for most of the years I've been working as a nurse. I went to the US in 2019 November, and I've been working there ever since. Yeah, I've been working in the OR, that is operating theater or operating room, as one of the nurses there. And I came here through this organization. What is appearing on my shirt, as you can see, Amen. So I signed up with this agency in 2018, and I was able to come to the US in 2019. I worked with them for 2 years. So I completed my contract. Then I started traveling. So today I just want us to talk about life in the US, the process of coming here. We still have like 1 hour 20 minutes. So if there's any other question, you can just put it down at the chat section. Then I'll be able to answer it comprehensively. So I want to say that I came to the US through an agency called O'Grady Payton International. It is an agency based in Georgia, in a big town. This agency is under another agency called AMN, American Mobile Network. But beside O'Grady Payton, we also have other agencies like Interstaff, we have Avant, we have Kennedy's, we have MedPro, we have Westway, BSH, and the rest. According to me, I would say that the most important thing is coming to the US, regardless of the agency you choose. Some agencies have got very strict procedure on selecting their nurses, but whoever you choose, I believe coming to the US is the most important thing. Then for the nursing assistant, currently the only agency that is recruiting nursing assistant, also known as nurse aides, also known as healthcare assistant, also known as thank you boss, also known as patient care technician, patient care attendant. The only agency that is bringing this cadre of health workers is MedPro. Then there's also another agency that also brings them, known as Westway. Westway only bring nurses who have not done their NCLEX, so that they can work in the US as they pursue their NCLEX journey. Then MedPro, for the nursing assistant, I would say that even other cadres who have not trained in nursing can also join this process. Clinical officers, pharmaceutical technologists, public health officers, they can also come to the US via the nursing assistant route or route by modifying their CV to appear as if they have been working as a nursing assistant rather than clinical officers or pharmaceutical technologists or public health officers. Then I will also say that Avant is also another agency that focuses on nurses and physiotherapists. So if you're a physiotherapist and you do have a Bachelor of Science degree in physiotherapy, you can also come to the US through Avant. And also nurses, registered nurses can also come to the US through Avant. And I think I also failed to that enroll nurses, nurses with certificate can also come to the US through the nursing assistant route. So if you're an enrolled nurse, you can come to the US through the nursing assistant route. For Bachelor of Science holder in medical laboratory and technologist, you guys have also not been left behind. You guys can also come to the US through MedPro. MedPro International is recruiting Bachelor of Science holders in medical laboratory technologist. They're also recruiting nursing assistant. They're also recruiting registered nurses. So through MedPro, Bachelor of Science holder in medical laboratory technology have an opportunity to come to the US. Then I will also say that Interstaff is also recruiting nurses. Kennedy is also recruiting nurses. So far, I haven't seen anyone asking a question, but I will answer that it is a good evening on this side of the world. And welcome on board, Calvins. Welcome on board, Lakbir, the guy from India. I will still honor my promise to work on your CV, and I will also honor my promise to send you the invitation from the agency so that you can move forward with your application to come to the US as a registered nurse. Welcome on board, Okonkwo from Nigeria. Welcome on board, Mr. Peter, the great teacher. So I also want to say for the US Life, nurses who come through agency usually get paid an average of $30 per hour, and the working hours is usually 40 hours, but those who normally work on the floor, especially med-surg nurses, ICU, and the rest, they normally do 36, but you do have an option of doing another 4 hours so that you make it to 40 hours. So the average pay is $30 per hour for nurses who comes to the US through agency. But after you're done with your contract, you can negotiate a new contract whereby the pay will definitely go up. I've seen guys getting a pay rise of more than $26 from 30 to 56. I've seen a person getting a pay rise from 30 to $62 per hour. So Betty Kim, you've asked a question. When I come to the US, I got a C plus in my KCC. I'm currently a teacher employed by TSC. Kindly break down the stages of becoming a registered nurse once I come to the US. So Betty, once you come here, most of the time in the US, the high school grade is not important as it is in Kenya and other part of the world. So when you come here, you will apply for admission to a community college or a university so that you can take the nursing prerequisite classes. So these prerequisite classes are also known as common unit. You will take anatomy and physiology 1 and 2. You will also take microbiology with labs. You will also take chemistry with labs, general chemistry or fundamental chemistry with lab. You will also take sociology or psychology. You will also take English composition 1 and 2. And based on your performance on these prerequisite classes, you will be able to apply for admission to nursing school, whether you want to do associate degree in nursing, which is equivalent to the diploma in nursing, or when you want to do Bachelor of Science degree in nursing, which is usually 4 years, but the associate degree in nursing is 2 years. So admission to nursing school is based on your GPA. Most school will accept anyone with a GPA above 2.7. So if you perform well, I've seen guys performing, especially people from Kenya. I've seen people from Kenya getting 4 out of 4. Then you apply to nursing school, you go for the interview, and that's all. You get admitted to nursing school. So admission to the nursing school, they don't expect you to finish the prerequisite classes, but I think it is safer if you finish all the prerequisite classes, because nursing classes are also busy. They keep you so busy, theory class and also the clinical. So in a nutshell, what I want to say is that getting into nursing school in the US is so easy compared to getting into nursing school here in Kenya and other part of the world. The high school grade does not matter. Then thank you, Lakbir Kaur. I've seen, God bless you, sir. Petronila, you've asked a question. How long does it take to come over as a nurse assistant with the MedPro? So with the MedPro program, it takes between after you've gotten, after your case, your labor certification process has been approved by the US Department of Labor, then this process should take between 6 months to 13 months for you to come to the US. So remember, this month only applies to someone whose labor certification application has already been approved. It will only take you between 6 to 12 months for you to come to the US. Betty Kims, you will hopefully have answered your question well, but if you feel that I haven't, maybe you can rewrite it again, or just tell me that you've not gotten my answer well, then I will repeat it. The same apply to Petronilla. Kindly elaborate on how you can move from the UK to the US as a registered nurse. So Petronilla, the best way for you to move from the UK to the US as a nurse is to sign up with the agency, and the agency will offer you a tutorial for NCLEX. And I think the best thing of signing up with the agency is that the agency will meet the cost of your process. More than 85% of the cost of immigration process will be taken care of by the agency. So I will just urge you to sign up with one of these agency. I have a video that I have done, and I was able to rank this agency based on how so if you get a time, you can watch those videos and see how I was able to rank those agencies. So kindly just choose one agency, and this agency will allow you to come to the US without spending so much, because the US journey is also very expensive. And if I haven't answered your question well, just rewrite it, and I will be able to see that you still need more clarification from me. So Betty Kims, like you ask, if you must go through the 4 years consecutively, when will I start earning? So Betty Kim, it is very funny here in the US that most people earn wages while going to school. So funny, because nursing school here is not like in other part of the world. It is not full time. Like where I live in Arkansas, there's a school where they only go to school twice in a week. So if you are sharp enough, you're able to finish your assignment in time, you can work for the rest of the days. Because I've seen people working full time. At the same time, these people are going to nursing school. And as you say that you're a teacher, teachers are very bright people. So if you come here, you'll be able to finish your nursing classes and your nursing courses. So, and if you feel like 4 years is too long, you can opt to go for the ADN program, which is 2 years. Some of them even take 16 months. But I will advise you to finish all your prereq before starting your nursing degree program. Normally, the prereq usually take between 1 year and 16 months to finish. Then you'll have another 16 months or 2 years to finish your nursing program. So this one probably will take you like 3 years, 3.2 years. But by taking this route, you will be able to work. You can decide to work even 2 days in a week or 3 days in a week. And I'm telling you that I've seen people who are working 36 hours in a week. At the same time, they are taking their nursing classes. So it won't be a long route to take. Innocent, you've asked, can a pharmaceutical tech with diploma from KMTC get agency sponsorship? At the moment, there is no clear path for pharmaceutical technologies to come to the US, but what I will advise is that if you're a pharmaceutical tech, kindly just modify your CV so that it can reflect that beside being a pharmaceutical technologist, you've not been working as a pharmaceutical technologist because there's no job. You can just say that on your CV. You've not gotten a job as a pharmaceutical technologist, and instead of that, you've been working as a nursing assistant. Or you can also say that you previously worked as a pharmaceutical technologist, but due to COVID, you were laid off due to COVID. So you started working as a nursing assistant so that you can sustain your daily need. And you write that on your CV and you put the nursing assistant skills. And I think that is the best way for a pharmaceutical technologist and any other health cadres, including enrolled nurses, clinical officers, public health officers, to come to the US by modifying their CV to appear as if they have been working as a nursing assistant. And I will want to say that whatever MedPro is offering to nursing assistant is not a small amount of money, because MedPro is paying nursing assistant $20 per hour, and besides that, they're also getting a sign-on bonus of $3,000. So when you come to the US, the moment you start your 6-week nursing assistant classes at MedPro headquarters, these people will give you of that 3,000 US dollars, which you can use to start your life. So just add those people who do not have the nursing, those who do not have this qualification of registered nurses, physiotherapists, or medical laboratory technology to apply as a nursing assistant as long as they have the clinical skills. So you don't even have to go to do a nursing assistant course, but these people will take you on the basis of your pharmaceutical technology certificate and your nursing assistant experience as presented on your CV. I think I've answered that question, Innocent, the question touching on the eligibility of pharmaceutical technologists coming to the US through this program offered by various agencies. Yeah, what is that labor certification after doing NCLEX or credential verification? So labor certification is basically provided to nursing assistant. Nursing assistant, they don't follow the same route as registered nurses or physiotherapists or medical laboratory technologists. Yeah, so labor certification labor certification is a document that is filed by the sponsoring agency with the US Department of Labor. So the agency is supposed to tell the US Department of Labor that the position they are recruiting for, they have been unable to get qualified US national or qualified people from the US who are capable of taking up those positions they are recruiting for. So that is the sole purpose for the labor certification process. It will come after NCLEX, or it will come for the nursing assistant. It will come after they have been accepted by the agency and agency afford their cases to their legal representative. So it is just a process whereby the agency is supposed to tell the US Department of Labor that the position they're recruiting for, hospitals or the facilities they're recruiting for are not able to fill the available vacancy for those positions from the US nationals. Now, Mr. Lakbir Kaur, what I was saying is that I know I delayed with your request, but today I'll ensure that after this live, I'll ensure that I will work on your case, and I'll be able to send for you those invitations from the agency so that you can apply or finish up the application process after this YouTube live. Then, but after GNM nursing completed any easy job process. So, Mr. Lakbir, unfortunately, there's no much job that offer green card sponsorship. Most of these jobs that offer green card sponsorship are domiciled in the health sector, and you are a registered nurse, you have your diploma, so chances of you coming to the US is so great. So just be patient. The US process is quite long compared to the UK and other countries. So just be patient. I'll work on your document, then I will forward them to you so that you can finish the application process. Purity Nyamo, welcome. So you have a question. Hi, there was a nurse friend of mine who was advised to come over as a nurse assistant after CGFNS evaluation so that she can do NCLEX there, then change. Yeah, it is also possible, but at the moment I only know of one agency that is inviting nurses to come as a nursing assistant so that they can take their NCLEX year. The agency that is currently doing that is Westway. Westway will invite you as a nurse and you come and work as a nursing assistant as you work on the process of taking your NCLEX. MedPro also had a similar program, but I was surprised that last time I talked to one of the MedPro recruiter, she told me that they are discouraging nurses from applying as a nursing assistant. And from what I've seen, most of the registered nurses who applied as a nursing assistant were given option to come as registered nurses, but not nursing assistant. Thank you so much, Petronila. You've indicated that you are satisfied with my explanation. Betty Kims also has also indicated that you've been satisfied with my explanation. Thank you so much. Renis, you have a question. Can the labor certificate be denied? Yes, the labor certificate can be denied, but the agency are always being given an opportunity to reapply for that labor certification. So the agency, the US Labor Department won't deny it, but they will seek for more evidence that the position that the agency is recruiting cannot be filled up by the US national. So they will request for more information, and most of the time, the agency will submit more evidence, and the labor certification, the certificate will be granted. Yeah, so I'm not seeing any more question. I want to say that the average pay for nurses here is $30. I will also want to say that nursing assistant, average pay for US nursing assistant is $14, but MedPro is giving $20. And I want to say that US life is not that expensive the way people usually talk about it. I will say that the most expensive things here in the US is housing and healthcare, but the rest of it, like food, fuel, those are not expensive. They're very much affordable, and everyone can afford them. Also, vehicles are very much affordable. Almost everyone own a vehicle, and the agency have made it very easy for everyone to own a vehicle because they act as guarantor. They guarantee you so that the bank can give you loan at a very fair prices. So I'm still expecting make more question. Let me just share this live to other groups so that they can also join. Yes, so now US nursing school, you can actually go to nursing school free here in the US as if you don't have an undergraduate degree, because the fee is like the government, the state government, and even the so innocent. There's no specific qualification for one to become a nursing assistant, because here in Kenya, nursing assistant is not a regulated profession. But from what I've seen, everyone with a high school certificate can go to nursing assistant school. And I'm actually advising those who want to go to nursing assistant school to go to the most affordable one, to go to the most affordable nursing assistant school, and to go to the one that takes the last duration. Like if you want to go to nursing assistant school, don't go to the one that take more than 4 months, because even here in the US, the CNA program is at most 6 weeks, and they don't go to school every day. So those are being recruited by MedPro, even even though they have their nursing assistant certificate, and they also have the minimum experience, which is 6 months. When they come over to the US, they will still be taken to school by the MedPro. MedPro will teach them again how to become a US certified nursing assistant or a patient care technician. So I'll just ask you, just if you want to go to nursing assistant school, or you want to take one of your relative to nursing assistant school, just go to the one that is most affordable, and the one that take the least duration. I believe even 2 months is enough to train a nursing assistant, because I know, like, in other parts of the world, be it Nigeria, Kenya, Ghana, Zimbabwe, these programs are usually full-time compared to the US, whereby this program are usually part-time, because people go to work at the same time they go for their classes. So in a nutshell, there's no minimum qualification for becoming a nursing assistant in Kenya apart from having a high school diploma. And I believe in Africa, nursing assistant is not regulated, and the entrance qualification is more or less the same. Thank you so much. Kenya News Update. Thank you so much. We are providing this information precise, concise, specific, and free of charge. Free of charge. So, for instance, you do have a Bachelor of Science degree in Medical Laboratory Technology and you want to come to the US. First and foremost, you need to work on your CV. Ensure that your CV is showing that you've been working at an hospital that is a tertiary or teaching hospital. What I've realized is that these recruiters tend to frown upon when you write referral or general, but they want you to have worked in a tertiary or a teaching hospital. Or if you're working in a standalone lab, you should be working in a lab that is performing all the common tests and also advanced laboratory tests like PCR. The lab should be able to do a PCR. And if you're working in an hospital, the hospital still should have at least 160 beds. Most of the time, the agency will tell you about 100, but I've seen people being eliminated who have written 100 beds. So to be on a safe side, just write 160 beds, then submit your application to MedPro International or O'Grady Payton International. Those are the agencies that are currently recruiting Bachelor of Science holders in medical laboratory technology. O'Grady Payton and MedPro. MedPro has been doing this for a while, but O'Grady Payton just started recently to recruit Bachelor of Science holder in medical laboratory technology. So after being recruited, they will also put you in classes so that you learn about the US laboratory system as you prepare for the board exam. Most of the time you will come and take your board exams here in the US if you are a medical laboratory technology. And surprisingly, most people from Africa are not taking up this position of medical laboratory. I've seen only the Philippines are applying for this position of medical laboratory in drove. Most of our colleagues from Africa, you guys are not applying for this position. I will just urge you to apply for it, and the pay is also great. And I love the work of a laboratory technologist. So I can see another question from Venice. Hopefully I'm pronouncing your name correct. It sounds French, but as a nursing assistant and you're successful when you reach the US, do you have to do an interview again to get the job? I would say it is a no. It is a no. So after you've done your interview with the agency and you've gone through all the process, the moment you've gotten your I-140 approval, the agency will link you up with a potential employers. So you will do your interview while still in your country. So when you come to the US, you will go straight to MedPro International headquarters for orientation and also further training on becoming a US certified nursing assistant. So you won't have to do another interview again after you've arrived in the US. All interviews will be done when you are still domiciled in your country. So you'll have to interview. one interview to be accepted by the agency, and the other interview to be accepted by the hospital. All these interview will be done while you are still in your country. And remember, the only qualification needed for this nursing assistant is a nursing assistant certificate. You'll also need a transcript from your college. You'll also need a recommendation letter from your employer. This recommendation letter only tells the agency and also the US Labor Department that you've been working for at least 6 months as a nursing assistant. So you need a certificate from your college, you need a transcript from your college, and you'll also need a recommendation letter that has got a letterhead of the facility where you're working at. Additionally, they will also need to see your high school certificate so that they can also tell that you've gone to high school for at least 4 years. They just want to see that you've gone to high school for at least 4 years. And also, I will also say that apart from these other items, you'll also need a CV, an updated resume that is showing your nursing assistant skills and wherever you've worked at. I will glad to provide more information regarding that if you feel that have not answered your question well. Betty Kims, I've seen you ask, talk more about medical laboratory. Do you still need to be a nurse? Then maybe you major on labs. No. Medical laboratory technologists have a clear path of coming to the US just as nurses. So for them, they also go through the same process as nurses. They submit the application to the agency. Then thereafter, they will do an interview. Then after the interview, the agency will offer them tutorial for their board exams. After passing their board exams, the agency will submit them for I-140 approval. I-140 is a process whereby the agency send documents and application to the USIS to demonstrate to the USIS that this particular candidate is eligible for issuance of immigrant visa. So after being issued with this I-140 approval, the medical laboratory technologist will have an interview with the US hospital. Most of the time, they won't go to standalone lab, but they will go and work in the hospital. So medical laboratory technologists have a clear path of coming to the US, just as nurses, just as physiotherapists, just as nursing assistant. The only difference is that for nurses are being recruited with a diploma, bachelor degree, and master's degree. But for medical laboratory technologists, you can be recruited if you do have a Bachelor of Science degree. If you don't have a Bachelor of Science degree, you can't get recruited, or Bachelor of Science degree and above. Like, you must have a Bachelor of Science degree and above. If you have a diploma or a certificate, there's no clear path for you to come to the US. Then Martha Macharia, you have a question. Thanks for watching. Can please send me the MedPro recruiting nursing assistant? Are they still recruiting nursing assistant? So Martha Macharia, I'm currently in Kenya, but I was in the US 3 weeks ago, and I was able to talk to one of the recruiter at MedPro through a phone call, and she told me that the MedPro recruiting initiative is a long-term project. It is not a one-off, it is a long-term project. So this is something that will continue indefinitely because they're not geared to achieving a specific objective. So if you haven't applied, you need to apply for this position. And if you do not have the qualification at the moment, you can go to school. As I have said earlier, that if I were the one, then I'll go for the cheapest school, or cheapest school, and the one that take the shortest duration. Even 2 months is enough for you to become a nursing assistant. So Mother Masharia, the link is in. If you check on my videos, check the most popular video that is titled Nursing Assistant Jobs in the US, and I've pinned the link on that video. So if you just go to that video, you'll be able to see the application portal and submit your application. Something very important is that MedPro is only recruiting nursing assistants who are working inpatient. So if you're a nursing assistant and you're working at a health center or dispensary, then that one should not appear on your CV or on your application paper. What should appear on your application paper is that you're working inpatient. So even if you're working in a health center which is outpatient, kindly change it to be an inpatient, because if you apply as an outpatient nursing assistant, then they won't take you in. And remember, they need at least 6 months experience, you need an updated CV, you need a transcript, and you need a recommendation letter. And the hospital you're working at should also be a big hospital, a tertiary hospital, because I've seen people being rejected. Those who wrote that their hospital is like a 60 bed capacity, they're also being rejected. So Venice, you have another question. What are some factors why someone would be successful in their interview, or what are the recruiter looking for as a nursing assistant? So I'll talk about it. Most of the time, the reason why you won't be successful in the interview is how you answer your question. Because if you look at the role of nursing assistant, one of the main role of nursing assistant is turning the patient to hourly. So that is one key, something that you have to mention to the recruiter, that if he or she asks you what are some of your role as a nursing assistant in the facility you're currently working at. So one of the most important role is turning the patient every 2 hours, or as recommended by the provider, to prevent bed sores. Then also nursing assistant play critical role in feeding the patient, and they also do the vital signs. And in other places they also do things like ECG, especially in the US hospital. Nursing assistant will do the ECG. Some of them will also do the blood sugar check. Then again, most of the people who have been rejected so far, those who have known, these are the people who did not modify their CV to reflect that they are working in hospitals or facilities that have a bed capacity of more than 160 bed. And also those are the people from pharmacy, lab tech, public health, who after applying for this position, they did not modify their CV to appear as if they have been working as a nursing assistant in the past years, but they applied for the position of nursing assistant, yet they highlighted that they are clinical officers, they highlighted that they're physician assistant, they highlighted that they're public health officers. So they ended up being rejected interview or when their application was filtered. I don't know if I've answered your question correctly, but if you feel that I haven't answered it, then you can write it again and tell me what specific area I haven't answered. Okay, so going forward, I was speaking about medical laboratory technologists, and I said that currently we have two agencies that are recruiting medical laboratory technologists. That is O'Grady Payton and MedPro International. And the only difference between medical laboratory technologist recruitment with the nurses recruitment is that for you to be recruited as a medical laboratory technologist, you have to be a holder of Bachelor of Science in medical laboratory technology. But for the nurses, you can get recruited as a holder of diploma, ordinary diploma and above. Now, when I talk about the nursing side, the most common specialties that are lucrative, the specialties that will get you noticed by the hiring manager. Number one is medical surge, medical surgical specialty. You could be working in a surgical ward or a medical ward, or a surgical floor or a medical floor. So these specialty are highly rated. They are the specialties that are easily being picked up by the hiring managers. I would say the second one is ICU, critical care. The third one will be accident and emergency. I would say that the fourth one will be operating room, operating theater. The fifth will be mental health. Actually, mental health is the fourth. The fifth will be operating room. Then I will ask guys to avoid these two specialty. Please, please, please. Pediatric, pediatric and maternity. Most of the US facilities are not recruiting pediatric and maternity. Maternity here is called labor and delivery. Most people who have signed up with agency with a specialty in pediatric or labor and delivery, they take so long for them to come to the US because sometimes the agency won't move forward with your application or with your visa interview if you've not gotten placement. And speaking for my agency, that is O'Grady Payton. O'Grady Payton will not move forward with your visa interview appointment date if you've not gotten a placement. So if you're applying to come to the US as a registered nurse, kindly avoid those two specialty: labor and delivery, popularly known as maternity, and pediatrics. Yes, so Kenya's new the water assistant asked during the interview. Yeah, so the response that we've seen from Venice is very accurate and correct. It all depends with the recruiting personnel question. Definitely varies. What I would say is that those who are interviewed, especially in September and October, the question for them were very easy because most people didn't. We did not have so many people applying for this position before that. So all of their question was a yes, no. And these guys are only confirming what is appearing on your CV. They will just ask you Are you doing the feeding? Are you changing your patient? Are you doing vital signs? Are you able to do glucose check? But now they have started even asking the level of acuity your hospital, the level of patient acuity your hospital is now admitting or treating. So that question, and also they are now focusing again on the bed capacity. That is something that there before. They only realized that so many people apply for this position, and they have to find a way of filtering others. But Venice has answered it correctly that the question varies and they depend with the recruiting personnel. You may get a good one, you may get not a good one, but just be confident. And something also very important is that you have to cram, you have to master your CV, and you should be consistent with your CV. Kisibo Adson, you are asking that you did your interview last Friday and you're still waiting for the response, but it was a good interview. I'm happy that you're saying that it was a good one because some people are saying that it wasn't. But I want to say this that most of the time it will take up to 3 weeks for you to hear from them. But if it was a good one, I believe you crush it, and it is always good to be optimistic. This job is yours, Kisibo. Just start saving, just start saving. Your journey to the US is around the corner. Yeah, so I'm not seeing any. Let me just say something about US life. Again, I also want to tell you that if you have a young kid, a small child, most of the time we only get rescued by daycare. So most of the time you'll be taking your kids to the daycare, and the US has got some. I did my interview October and I was successful. I get mine back within 7 hours. That's why I'm saying that those who did their interview in September and October, their interview was much better because not many people had applied for those positions. It wasn't popular then. Some people also thought that it was a scam, so they did not apply. And the question asked was totally different from what people going for this interview are being asked. And if you can look at the application portal, the format changed. The previous application was not asking many questions as the one that is currently being utilized. Like the other one was not asking you which department are you currently working at. They were just asking about are you working in the hospital. And I will also want to say that those who have not heard from MedPro and you made your application, because most people say that I applied as a nursing assistant and I've not gotten any response. And I will tell them, can you go to your email search section and write MedPro International, then search. Then they will come back to me. You know what? I found out that this guy actually responded to me 4 days after I submitted my application. So if you haven't gotten your response from MedPro for the application for nursing assistant position, just go to your search section of your email and search MedPro International. And yeah, so far so good. So far so good. I believe I've answered all the question that has been a portion of me. So I was talking about daycare. Daycare is a big thing in the US. Most of the time, you will survive through it unless you know someone that is living here who can help you take care of the young kids. So it'll take you, most of the daycare will open at 6 and they close at 6 p.m. in the evening. But primary school and high school are completely free. The school buses will come and pick your kids, then they will also bring them back. Yeah, the school buses will come and pick your kids, then they will also bring them back. But some parents also opt to take their kid themselves to school and also bring them back. But high school and primary school is completely free, and students here do not wear uniform, so they just wear their home clothes. They don't go to school the way we do in other places. Like you'll have to get to school at 7:30 and leave at 4:30. Here they go to school at 8:30, and most of the time, all of them have left school by 3. So I can see a comment from Kisibo Hudson. If I may ask, for the registered nurses who want to apply for CNA position, should they indicate registered nurses on the CV, yet they want to be CNAs? So initially, MedPro was recruiting registered nurses to come to the US as a nursing assistant, and I believe those who applied in September and October, some of them were considered. But recently, when I talked to the recruiter at MedPro International, that was 3 weeks ago when I was in the US, she told me that they are actively discouraging registered nurses from applying for this position of nursing assistant. And so far, most of the registered nurses who applied in November and December for the nursing assistant position have not been offered that position, but they have been offered the position of registered nurse. So I will say that MedPro is no longer taking registered nurses as nursing assistant. So if you're a registered nurse, kindly just apply assistant, then you'll have to apply through Westway. Westway is the one that is offering that sponsorship for registered nurses to come to the US as a nursing assistant, then later take NCLEX. So MedPro International is offering a sign-on bonus of 3,000 to registered nurses, 3,000 US dollars to nursing assistant. MedPro is also offering 7,000 to registered nurses who have done IELTS exam. They also offer the same amount of 7,000 to medical laboratory technologists who have also taken IELTS. Avant is currently offering 10,000 to nurses who have already taken IELTS and who have also taken NCLEX. 10,000 sign-on bonus. This is 10,000 US dollars to nurses who have taken NCLEX and also who have IELTS. And they're also waiving the 2 years minimum experience for these nurses who have done NCLEX and IELTS. O'Grady Payton is offering 3,000 for medical laboratory technologist and also 3,000 for registered nurses. I haven't heard if Interstaff and Westway or VCH if they do offer any sign-on bonus, but the agency I've mentioned are the one that are offering sign-on bonus. Martha Masharia, I do believe there's no age limit for these positions. Last time when I engaged one of the recruiter for O'Grady Payton, because there's a nurse who was 58 years old, and she told me if she's still able to come to the US, and I told her, yes, you can come to the US, And when I engaged one of the recruiter from Ogadi Payton, they told me that they do not discriminate on the basis of age. And I will also tell you that I've been working with nursing assistant and also nurses who are more than 70 years old and they are still working. So US even does not have a genuine retirement age, especially for healthcare personnel, because I've seen many people above 65. I've actually worked, I'm currently working with a nurse who is 75 years old and she's doing night shift. So there's no age limit. So talking about myself, I've said that I came to the US in 2019. I came through O'Grady Payton, which is a daughter of this company that is appearing on my shirt here. It is AMN, American Health Medical. AMN is American Mobile Network. So I came to the US through O'Grady Payton in 2019. I worked with them in one facility for 2 years and I finished my contract in 2022. Then I started traveling. I traveled to 2 states. I went to Missouri in St. Louis, and I also went to Georgia. I stayed in Georgia for 7 months. In Missouri, I was only 6. I only stayed there for 6 weeks. Then I came back to Arkansas. Now I'm doing what we call local traveling. Have not been employed permanently by any hospital. I'm only picking this short-term contract. Currently, I'm doing a 12-month contract, 12 weeks contract at an hospital. The good thing about traveling is that you get paid 3 to 5 times what the regular staff gets. The only thing that you don't get is healthcare, and also you don't get the benefit, the pension. But if the other staff are getting 35, the hospital will probably give you $100 per hour. And I will say that traveling is not restricted to nurses only. I've seen surgeons who are traveling. I've also seen nursing assistants who are traveling, now known as CNS, who are traveling. I've also seen medical laboratory technologists who are traveling. I've also seen the X-ray tech, the imaging studies tech, who are also traveling. So traveling is not something that is only meant for one cadre. So when I say traveling is whereby you take a position far away from your registered home address, or you take a position locally with your hospital, but you come in as a traveling staff, as a traveler staff. So you get paid 3 to 5 times what people normally get, but you don't get the benefit and other things. So thank you, Lydia, for joining up. Want to go to a nursing school, dear? Yes, nursing school. Yeah, so you can go to nursing school here in Kenya. Just apply to KMTC or one of these private nursing school, and after 3 to 4 years, 3 to 5 years, you'll be able to start your US journey. Kisiba, I see you've provided an answer to Martha Masharia that you're a CNA, and thank you for being with us here. At least we've seen to. Yeah, so welcome back again. There's a little bit to the live feed. So I want to say that there's money in this place because you get paid per hour, and any extra hours you've worked is paid like 1.5 times the regular pay. So for instance, if you come here as a CNA and your base pay is $20, your base pay is $20, then you work an extra hour, the pay for the next extra hour will be $20 plus $10. So you'll be getting $30. Yeah, so every extra hour that you work is paid. So the working hours is the same in the US. The working hours start at, well, let me read the question again. How long are the working hours and how many days do you work? So the working hours can be 8 hours in a day, can be 12 hours in a day, can be 10 hours in a day. Some people even do 16 hours in a day. So if you do 8 hours, that means for you to get the the 40 hours week, you will have to work for 5 days. If you do 8 hours, you'll have to work for 5 days. If you're working for 10 hours a day, you'll work for 4 days. And if you're working for 12 hours a day, you'll work for 3 days. So that is 36. You can also, some facility will want you to come back and work another 4 hours so that you can get your 40 hours. So those are the working days. But you can work between 32 to 40 hours for you to be able to get your full benefit, for you to be able to get your full health cover, you to be able to get your pension benefit. You need to work for at least 32 hours in a week. For myself, when I came to the US, I was working 40 hours in one facility as an operating room nurse. Then I was also working at a second facility that is a nursing home. I was working for at least 16 to 20 hours every week. So if you do the maths, I was actually working more than 60 hours every week. And because of doing these long hours, I was able to achieve much because I was able to pay to clear my loans for 2 vehicles in less than 2 years. Just imagine paying 40,000 US dollars, paying back 40,000 US dollars to the bank in less than 2 years. So I actually work for 60 hours every week. And to those who will be going to the nursing home, I also work. Currently, I'm working as a traveler. I'm still working as an operating room nurse, but at the same time, I'm working as a RN, registered nurse, weekend supervisor at another nursing home. So at the nursing home, most of the time, for the nursing assistant, you'll be working there for 8 hours or 16 hours. But if you happen to go to the hospital, most of the time the hospital won't call you nursing assistant, but they will call you patient care technician. So at the hospital, most of the time you'll be doing 12 hours. So you will only work for 3 days. And if you still feel that you still have more energy, you can work for an extra day. That will make it 48 hours. So you'll have an overtime of 8 hours. So if you do that every week, that means every week you'll be getting 8 hours extra. So every 2 weeks you'll have 16 hours extras. And this 16 hours extra, you will be paid 1.5 times your base pay. And some hospital will also offer you incentive bonus for picking up extra shift. Some of this facility can give you $200. Some of this facility can also give you 240. Some of them they will even give you 500. Like now the facility I'm working at, they will give you 800 as an incentive bonus, regardless of whether you are a nursing assistant, whether you are a nurse, whether you are a surgical technologist. As long as you've picked a critical extra shift, they will give you 800 US dollars. So how long are the working hours? How many days do you work? I've answered that. You can either do 3 days, 4 days, or 5 days. Then Gibbons Otiende, thank you for this great insight. Thank you so much, Gibbons. You're much welcome. So I would say that I've been in the US for more than 3 years now. Because I came here in 2019 November and we are now in December. So I've been in the US for 3 years, 2 months now. My channel and also continue sharing my channels so that other people can also benefit from this process. And I see almost there's no any question left. I will just ask you to allow me to end this. I will ask you to allow me to end this live. And if you guys need another live, I'm more than happy to come back again to provide more insight to this program. Njoki Chege is asking if I want to study nursing in the US and work, how long are the classes? Yeah, that is a very nice question, a very valid question. So, from my experience and from the school I've seen, I've interacted with most of the school, the classes are only 2 days in a week. 2 days in a week, and they can give you an extra 1 day for clinical, but most of the time the classes are 2 days in a week. And like my wife goes to nursing school, and if I'll just give an example with how my wife nursing school is run, is that they have classes twice a week, and they start their classes from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. They have been divided into two groups. There's a group that goes for classes from 9 to 12 midday. Then from 12 midday to 4 p.m. they have their clinicals. Then the other class will do their clinical from 9 p.m. to 12 midday. Then from 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. they will be doing their classwork. And they only go do this on Tuesday and Thursday. So you can still work on Monday, on Wednesday, and on Friday, on Saturday and Sunday. So I'll just say that if you are sharp enough, able to master your classes very fast, then you can even work 40 hours a week and still attend to your classes and also attend to your assignment. What I will say that from what I've seen people are doing is that nursing school here require a good grasp of the anatomy and physiology. So if you've mastered the anatomy and physiology, you can be very successful in nursing school. So the first thing is for you to master the anatomy and physiology, because their schooling is very practical, very practical. So if you master that, you can easily go to work and also attend to your classes. Hopefully, Njoki Chege, I've answered your question completely. If you want to say chat me, Njoki, you can just do, you can let me, my number, this is my number here, Njoki. You can send me a message via WhatsApp, and this is my number. I'm typing it for you. It is the US number. This is what I'm using for the and I'm also on Facebook as Mark Gordon Subukwe. You can like my page on Facebook. Yeah, so you can reach me through that number. Anybody else who want to reach out, can also reach me through that number via WhatsApp. That is the most easiest way to reach out to me. So as I had said earlier, because we do not have more questions, I'll just take this opportunity to thank everyone who has taken his or her time to come and listen from me. Yeah, there's another question here before I just sign it off. Nurses who have already specialized in higher national diploma, e.g. perioperative, ICU, or renal in Kenya, is their license recognized? What is their pay? Will they need to specialize again? So here in the US, specialization is at the master's degree level, but you can also do specialty exam. Like after working in the US in ICU for at least 1,750 hours, you are eligible to take a critical care certification exam. So if you pass this critical care certification exam, then you will be recognized as a specialist ICU nurse. But all the specialization attained at a higher diploma level in Kenya or in any other part of the world do not count when you come to the US. All the specialization attained in Kenya or any other part of the world do not count when you come to the US. Because in the US, specialization start at a master's degree level or after taking a specialty exam meant for your for your specific unit. And for you to take this exam, you must have worked in the US for a certain duration in that specific unit. And there is no any difference in pay if you do have a higher national diploma in Kenya, because it is not recognized here. But if you take that specialty exam for you to become a perioperative nurse, for you to become a medical surgical nurse, the pay tend to go up between $2 to $3. You'll be able to get an extra $3 for being a specialized nurse. But whatever you come from in Kenya, they will recognize the diploma, your BSN, but they won't recognize your higher national diploma in perioperative, ICU, or renal. But this thing can help you to get a position in ICU or renal. If you want to work in renal unit, so this one can help you to work in renal unit, because you'll be able to tell the interviewing panel that I have this, I've worked in this area, and I believe I'm competent enough. But there is no formal recognition for those specialization, especially the one attained at higher national, the one attained at a higher national diploma level. Hi, Charity Moy has a question. Hi, is there a nurse assistant school you can recommend in Nairobi? There are several nursing assistant schools in Nairobi. I'm planning to do a video on the nursing assistant schools in Nairobi. I've also gotten information, nursing school in Nigeria, nursing school in Ghana, nursing school in Zambia, and also nursing school in Gambia. So I'm planning to do a video soon, and this video will be released soon. But what I want to tell you, Charity, that just go to a nursing assistant school that offers the shortest duration and is also the most affordable. I will recommend a nursing assistant program that does not go beyond 4 months. Because even here in the US, the nursing assistant program is between 4 to 6 weeks. And remember, even after being recruited by MedPro, you will still come back and take the nursing assistant classes here in the US at the MedPro headquarters. So just go to the one that is the most affordable and has got the shortest duration. So once again, ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you for coming here and providing me with this great audience. I believe our conversation has helped each and everyone who has attended this YouTube live. So kindly just allow me to end this YouTube live. Hopefully we'll be able to meet again in the next one. And if you guys believe that you need to hear more from me, you can just reach out from the number I've provided. Just send me a text via WhatsApp and I will be able to respond